Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Probate. Let's dive in and give as much information as you can to help a lot of you out there understand it and prepare it, whether it's for you, your family members, your parents, grandparents, and all that. You need to understand how this works.
Well, so before we left for break, I was mentioning that one of the pitfalls of probate is the cost. It's based on a statutory scheme that is based on the gross value of the estate. And I really want to emphasize gross because people often come to us and are like, oh, well, you know, my house is worth $600,000, but I have a loan. They always think they don't own their home, by the way, just because they have a loan, which I know you guys can explain that that's not true. They'll say, I have a house that's worth $600,000. I have a loan of $550. So, you know,
we don't have much value.
We don't have much value. So they automatically assume that, you know, no big deal. Unfortunately for them, probate costs are based on the gross value, not the net value. So $600,000 is going to be substantially more expensive than the $50,000 that you think it's worth. Recently, we just closed an estate for an estate that was worth $1.3 million, and the statutory fees to the attorneys were $26,000, and the statutory fees to the personal representative, that's the person who represents the family on behalf of the decedent, were $26,000. So $52,000.
Wow.
For a $1.3 million estate. And you know what's crazy? It was that this estate was not particularly difficult to administer. So the point is that...
Well, that could be a problem. If, say, they at 1.3, they owed 1.2.
Right. That's, well,
they get nothing.
And unfortunately, that's what happens sometimes. And people, you can't just let it sit out. And, you know, you eventually have to deal with the property one way or another. And, you know... then they had to wait. There was a considerable wait time. The decedent passed away, I want to say, 20 months before we finally got to close the probate.
Oh, so that keeps them more involved in that now, the death for another year and a half.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can. I mean, imagine there's this pot of money that you know about. You know there's $1 million sitting in the account. You know that you're entitled to $200,000 of it, and it just sits. And it sits. And it sits. And
just staring at
like
you,
you
right?
said, I mean, things could be going on as well because now you have this vacuum of income that's been created because there's no income, so there's no income stream. And you have this money that you can get at, and you want to use it to pay for things because you got the stream of income that disappeared, and you can't get to it.
Exactly.
I can't think of anything more frustrating.
Exactly. It's a very frustrating process. And, I mean, on the flip side, you know, the positives are that it's public record. You know, there's no hiding. You know, when someone's administering a trust, there is a risk for embezzlement if the trustee is not a up and up kind of person. There's no court monitoring what's happening. Whereas in a probate, there is a court monitoring. You've got the probate attorneys in LA County who are reviewing everything. And then, you know, generally speaking, probate is a little more complicated than most people can handle on their own. They typically need a lawyer to handle it for them. Everyone I've seen in pro-per kind of situation has been a complete disaster, and somebody usually steps in. It's complicated. It's a lot of things to figure out. So, you know, if you are concerned about a sibling, if there is, you know, if whoever because, oh, by the way, if you don't plan and you don't name a personal representative in your will, that's also chosen by California law. They make the decision. And so let's say the eldest sibling is a drug addict and sees a potential, you know, oh, look, I get $25,000 for administering this estate, and I'm in control of $1.3 million.
Oh, my goodness.
Not that the other siblings couldn't fight it, but you understand
well,
the
it creates
problems.
More complications.
Exactly.
Obviously.
When someone is able to plan, even if you are going to go through a probate, but at least you planned ahead and signed a will so that you have said, I don't want drug addict child to do it. I would like my, you know, accountant daughter to do it. At least that has done some planning to at least avoid some of the headaches.
Yeah, but these days, I mean, what does a will really do for you? I mean, it really doesn't do much.
It doesn't do much because what's unique about a will, really, it's valid in the sense that if you have signed it properly and it's been witnessed and you've followed California law for execution, it's a valid document, but it actually has no weight till you've actually died. Unlike a trust, which is a living, breathing entity as of the date you sign it, which actually gives you the ability to avoid something called conservatorship, which is yet another form of court, you know, monitored, management of your estate or your person. This is in the case where you're alive but unable to handle your finances or money yourself, or your body yourself. So the trust really is a very amazing, it's the chaos avoider. It does so many cool things. It has so many neat attributes that planning ahead can avoid so many bad results for your family and things. Sometimes when you read a trust, Gino knows, it's a 50-page document or 40-page document sometimes, and you're reading it and you're like, is this all necessary? But I assure you, as someone who has seen it on the back end, either through a trust administration or a probate, you do not even imagine the things that come up once someone has died. And
so you can help a lot of you out there avoid these trials and tribulations and so forth. What does the trust usually cost? I mean, I know it varies on complications and stuff, but just in general, like a typical trust starts at?
For most married couples, it's approximately $2,500.
All right, which is really, I know it sounds like a lot, but a drop in the bucket to avoid all these complications and allow what's supposed to happen with the assets happen.
Well, compared to $52,000.
Yeah, exactly. That was just one example.
And like you said, $1.3 million here in California is not really that much in gross assets. I mean, if you just own a house and one investment property and you're there.
So how can they get a hold of Lisa Odom with McDowell Odom LLP? Because you should reach out to Lisa. As you can tell, she's super sweet and nice. We love sitting down with you. How can they get a hold of you?
You can call us at 661-449-9630, or you could always email us at lisa@mcdowellodom.com. Or our website is www.mcdowellodom.com.
There you go. Cool. Lisa Odom, thank you for always being a great addition to our show, a great addition to America's Professional Resource Group, and also to us and our clients' lives. Good job.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can find our shows and our YouTube videos anytime by going to donandgino.com, DONANDGINO. Check out our group at aprgi.com, the best professionals you can find in town.
And don't forget, Don, for our daily blog, check us out at nrecafe.com.
So we got a lot of information for you because we love you. So have a great Saturday and enjoy Super Bowl. Go Broncos.
Yes, go Broncos.